So why did I switch from my Sawgrass SG-1000, my Epson 2720 sublimation printers, to just the Epson ET-15000? And this is by no means sponsored by anyone. The Epson ET-15000 will do up to 13 by 19, and it'll do my 11 by 17. It'll do 8.5 by 10 and 8.5 by 14. So my Epson 2720 that I previously had, I used for the 8.5 by 11 and 8.5 by 14, and the Sawgrass SG-1000 with the auxiliary paper tray on the back for the 11 by 17 and the 13 by 19 because I needed those large formats. The Sawgrass printer is faster than the Epson ET-15000 as far as putting out output. Quality, it's identical. Price-wise, it is just way cheaper with the Epson. I'm using Hippo brand sublimation ink rather than the Sawgrass with the Sawgrass ink because their ink is proprietary. It is insanely expensive for what it is. I mean, it's just ridiculous what they get for their ink. And then I ran into a problem with Sawgrass and being able to upload my SVG files. I've used SVG files for years. I upload them through their print manager or their print studio or creative studio or whatever the hell they called it. And then it would have to print through print manager. I couldn't print directly from any software right to the Sawgrass. That was a disadvantage. But getting back to the SVGs, all of a sudden if I tried to upload SVGs, it wouldn't work. So I contacted tech support. I said, hey, I'm trying to upload these SVGs. It's like I've always done. And the first reply I got back was, well, SVGs files are not supported. We only support JPEG and PNG. I'm like, I've been doing this for years, and it says right on the website or in your software here, the three formats you can use is PNG, JPEG, and SVG. What's the problem? Well, we'll send you this thing, and it'll do a screen capture of you attempting to upload these SVG files. So I thought, okay, fair enough. Well, maybe there's some little glitch going on. Did that, sent them the file, and they came back and said, well, your SVGs have to be single layer, they have to be flat. Well, they are. It's the same thing I've been using all along. And then it more or less got back to, well, we don't know what the problem is, and just use PNG or JPEGs. I'm like, I don't work in that format, I work in SVGs. Well, then the next thing happened was I needed to replace the maintenance tank on it again, on the Sawgrass. And one of the things that's nice about a Sawgrass is it self-maintains, so you don't end up with clogged nozzles or anything if you're not using your printer for a period of time. I don't have that problem here, but it gets used several times a week, although it still runs its maintenance cycle, and that uses ink and puts it into the maintenance tank. And as I said, the ink is expensive. The maintenance tank was, I think, $38 for one of those. That's the third time I've had to replace one. So I more or less just got fed up with it. But my granddaughter has the ET-15000. I've used hers once or twice up there at her place, and it does everything that the SG-1000 does, and it does it much, much cheaper, albeit a little slower. So that's why I made the switch. So what did I do with the SG-1000 and the 2720? Sold them both, and now I'm using the 15000. That's explanation because people are going to ask, well, why'd you get rid of the Sawgrass? Well, there's all the reasons. So if you got anything out of this, appreciate getting a thumbs up. It always helps the channel. Roger in the loft above the shop. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.